Okay. Yay. It's alive. Joy. Okay. All right, here we go. Better late than never. Okie dokie. Here we go. It is Bava Basra. And we're starting Daf Yomi. We have had a lot of problems. This was supposed to start around an hour ago. But, hey, better late than never. Okay. Bava Basra. Perek Hashutafin, which I'm going to call Perek Hashutfin. I'm holding up the Gemara just because I'm checking the latency in the video. And if anyone cannot hear me, please let me know. From what I see, it should be working fine. So, here we go. Hashutfin Sherotzu Lasois Mechitza Bechatzer. Alright, so we have two partners over here, and they want to make a mechitza in their courtyard. These two partners, and I'm being vague on purpose because what is a mechitza is going to be immediately what the Gemara jumps into. So over here, suffice it to say that we have a chatzer. The chatzer is colored purple because we got two shutfim. We got the guy in red and the guy in blue, and the chatzer is red and blue together. It's purple because they own it jointly. So, that Rashi HaShotfen, Jeish Len Chatzer B'Shotfes, that they have a chatzer jointly. And the houses of each of them are open into this chatzer. And Rashi adds, when we speak about a chatzer, it's the area in front of the house. And that's where they do most of their stuff. So, they want to make a mechitza. I guess for now we're going to pretend it means they want to make a wall. They build the wall in the middle. So depending on what the custom is, if the custom of that place is to build with rough stones or with hewn stone, like hewn, but meaning like, made like the kotel ones that are cut nicely, or bricks, rough bricks. Oh, actually, a kufis is a brick, and a levena is a, darn it, a kufis is a half brick, a levena is a full brick. Bainin, they're going to do it akol k'minig haMedina, depending on what the minig of the place is. So, I have totally forgotten what my tefach is in this scale over here. This city that we're looking at is being repurposed from Eruvin. And I wonder, oh look, a kaira floating in the air. How wide is this kaira? 0.1667. So I think that 1.667 is going to be a single tefach, so, which means that if we're going to have something that is if we want it to be something to be 6 tefachim, we're going with 6 tefachim and an amma. So that would mean that a single stone would be this wide. I don't actually know about is that the length or the width? I'm guessing that number actually is going to be the length. And so now we have a stone over here, and I'm kind of making this up, but here we have a brick, and that is going to be one of the bricks of the courtyard. Obviously, after they divide it, it's not going to be purple anymore. So, gvil is rough stones. So for that, I'm making a copy over here of another stone, but do I have a tool here called erode? I don't see it, so I'm not going to go through with that right now. But Gavil is bumpy stones. Gazis is going to be stones that are not bumpy, so they're going to be a little bit smaller. We're going to take off I don't know if I need, yeah. The Iker is, yeah, okay, that's good. That's going to be 5. And then you're going to have Kfisim and Levanim, and those bricks are going to be a mere, Mishnah says, that Bigvil, Zenos and Gimel Tvachim, Zenos and Gimel Tvachim. Each of them is going to be giving 3 Tvachim, which is going to be half of that brick. Big Gazes, Zenos and Tvachim Umechtzov, Zenos and Tvachim Umechtzov. They're each going to give 2.5 Tvachim. Kfisin, if it's going to be big Kfisin, if they're going to be doing half bricks, so each brick is 4 amos, and the half brick is going to have, therefore, 2 and 2, but it's going to be another, not amos tefachim, and each one's going to have, it's going to be 2 and 2, but it's going to be another tefach in the middle. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm exhausted by now. Levanin, the brick is 3. So break it in half, and so here's a brick. Let's make a brick. It's going to be, okay, let's turn it. Oops, a little bit too much. There. That's going to be our, I guess the height of it might as well just be, whatever the height just is. So if you're making it out of Levanim, you'll be making it out of a full one of these. But if you're making it out of Kfisim, then really you're going to have 2 halves of that. And there's going to be an extra tefach in the middle to support the, to keep everything together. So those are our numbers going from the top: 6, 5, 4, 3. So again, reading that, big Kfisins and Nesin Tvachayim, Nesin Tvachayim. If you're using the half bricks, each of them is going to give 2 Tvachim of their space. And the Levanins and Nesin Tefach Umechtzov is a Nesin Tefach Umechtzov. Each of them is going to be giving then, if you're using something that's 3 long, each of them is going to be giving 1.5. And now, mind you, this courtyard is now being divided between them, in which case it's now going to be no longer purple. Our yard is no longer purple. Our yard is now going to be red and blue. So, all right, this wood, I must be missing. Oh, did I not fully and properly subdivide this thing? That's better. Yeah, so now, red side is red, and blue side is blue. They have officially divided this thing up, and if you'll notice, just about, that was too far. That was too far. What we want to do is, there. All right, so now that's right. That's on the halfway mark. Let's move all these things over to the halfway mark. Obviously, they're not going to be building it out of all 4 of these things. It depends which one they're doing, but this is going to be the amount of space it takes up. And because they're each contributing, lefichach, major taisis over here. If the wall falls down, hamakayim, the area, v'avanim, and the bricks, the rocks, shoshneim, are going to be split between them. So Rashi be'emtza zenesim mechalkoi chatzi makom avia kaisa v'chen. Each of them gives from their portion half the width. Gvil, Gazis, Kfisin, I'll come first, but Gemara, I'll come to Medina, and live next to Gvil. Ein Chaver Yachol Emerini, Chaver Tele Gazis, if the guy wants, if the minig is to do bigger, rougher stones, the guy can't demand to be doing the hewn ones that are less. Okay. Let's see. I just want to make sure that this is working. Okay. I hope this is working. Sagt the Mishnah weiter. V'chein begina, and also in a garden you have the exact same situation, except makam shenoagu legdar machayv v'naisai. If the minhag is to make a wall, then we make him do it. Yes, there's going to be some implied contradictions here. Avol bebeka, but in a valley, a big empty space, makim shenagu shaloi legdar, if the minhag is not to make a fence, ein mechayv v'naisai, you cannot compel him to do it. So Rashi, why is it that Zenes and Gimel Tvachim? Why is it that each of them is going to be giving 3 Tvachim? Sha'ovi kaisel gvil vav Tvachim. Right? Because the wall of the uncut stone is going to be 6. V'shal gaz chamisha, v'shal kfizim dal, v'shal in Gimel, it's going to be 6, 5, 4, 3. Lefichach, therefore, hoyel b'chilas ha'binyan chiyuvam chacham v'bein shneim, because from the beginning it needed to be built that each of them is donating space for the wall. If after a long time the wall crashes down, one of them can't say, it was all built on my side and I paid for those stones. They're my stones. Even though after years and years when the wall falls, one of the two parties might have a greater demonstration of ownership and chazaka, like as the Gemara is going to explain, if the wall fell down onto his side, still, we assume that it was built evenly between them because of the space and the stones. V'chein begina, Rashi says, Mechayvin eshneyan, livnitz b'makim shnagul b'amsaf. The minhag is to build an agina, you have to. Avol b'bika, but in a bika, which I translate as big empty space, but it's also a place that you planted wheat, stale of. Makim shnagul b'mafresh ma'ika amar, because the implications here contradict. Ella imratza. What if a guy wants a wall in a place where you cannot compel it? Kaines n'seich shaloi you buying that. If somebody wants to make a wall, not in a chutzner, but in a place where you can't compel him to do it, he's going to have to do it all on his side of things. It makes a sign, Rashi says, Gemara makes a siman, something that sticks out to show if it's his or not, that he's the one who did it. Therefore, in that situation, if the wall falls down, then the place of the stones are presumed his because of that chazis marker. And if it was a place where the minhag is not necessarily to build it, but they both did anyways, build the wall in the middle, and make a siman on both sides that each of them built it. Therefore, if it falls, then they're going to be getting the place and the stones split evenly. Rashi, to show that they both did it. Okay, let's jump into this Gemara because we were being vague about what they were agreeing to do. So Vrua, they thought to say, my mechitza, what does the word mechitza mean? Guda, a wall, that they were planning on actually building a wall in between them. And obviously it's not just going to be one brick, it's going to be a bunch of bricks. So if they would build a wall out of gevil, which is, what is this? It's 6, each of them is going to be 6 tfachem across over here. And just because, we like stability, I'm gonna, what just happened? Oh, that's what happened. All right, so here's a wall coming up out of Gvil. And The word mechitza means a wall, in which case what the Mishnah is saying is, if they agree to build a wall, they should build a wall. If they didn't agree to build a wall, they don't have to. Zot Rashi, Guda Kaisel. So Savro Mechitza Guda, Kedatanya, we have a Brisa. Kedatanya, Zot Rashi, the Karitana, Laguda Mechitza, that the Mishnaic word for a wall could well be Mechitza. Mechitza Sakarim Shenifritza. Alright, so if we have a vineyard and the wall between it and a wheat field broke down. Omer Loi Gedar. He can say to him, that was vague, he can say to him, fix it. So the Mechitza broke, Mechitza then being a wall, and Omer Loi Gedar, he says to him, fix it. Okay, so over here we have a vineyard, and we have a wheat field, and there's a wall between them, but that wall is broken. So the guy has a vineyard over here right by a wheat field of someone else, and the wall has a hole in it. By the way, how big is the hole? Okay. This hole in this picture is more than 4 ames, which I think is the amount. The wheat guy says to the grape guy, build a wall. That your grapevine shouldn't aser my wheat. Because notice he planted the wheat right up against the fence. Wait a minute. Yeah. You can have the vines on one side, the wheat on the other. And if there isn't a fence, you have the Mishnah in the second parak of Bava Basra. What's going on with our guys with Sionim? Okay. That you would ordinarily have to have a distance of 4 amas in between the vineyard and the seeds, which you do not have over here. I'm just checking. Yeah, definitely not. We have a tractor over here, which is 4 amas wide, and you need enough room for the tractor to drive by the vineyard without bumping the seats. Okay, so mechitza karem shenifritza, the wall is busted. Omer Loi, the wheat guy says to the grape guy, Gedar, fix your wall. Yeah, plug the hole. There, much better. Chazra v'nifritza, if it got busted again, whoop. Omer Loi Gedar, he tells him, fix it. So Rashi, Chazra v'nifritza, Omer Loi Ligdar. If we were learning this be'iyah, there'd be much to say. The Gemara Vayta, turning the page, if the vineyard guy just gave up and didn't fix it, now it is aser mishum kilayim. Really, we should now make it all turn some like horrific, mutant, moldy, evil color. Let's see how easy that would be to pull off. Wait. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. There. All right, this wheat has gone evil. It has become kilayim, the grapevine also. V'chaya v'achrayusa, and the also the leaves of the vine, but I'm pretty sure this is going to take a lot longer to color. Yeah. Maybe not. Oh, check out this vineyard. This vineyard has officially gone evil. Although, of course, it's the grapes that grow on it. Maybe I don't know. I guess the vines also. Sagt Rashi, Kiddush Atvuas Imosif Mosayim, it sanctified it into doom. Kadosh means separate. Rashi saying the word Kiddush is being used here. Listen to Karnakat pen Tukdash, which is not exactly what the Torah says. I'm sure that guys with Yuna have what to say about this. Dum 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 dum. Tikdash, yeah, Rishash. Okay. And now he's going to be Chayv Achiyus. Really, this has nothing to do with our Gemara. It's just that we're bringing it a raya that mechitza means a wall. And what do you see? When people agree to build a wall, they build a wall. Taima deratzu. The reason why he has to build a wall is because they agreed. Halay ratzu. But if you see that if he didn't want to do it, he's not going to have to build a wall. Alma, we see, this is the Talmud Bavli making dramatic, sweeping conclusions, diukim from things to broad principles. Alma, hezek re'iyah lav shmei hezek. Our scroll translates hezek re'iyah as visual trespass. Our scroll is very proud of their translation. It means it's an invasion of privacy thing. Is that something that you can force someone else to build a wall for? Okay. If mechitza means a wall, then the Mishnah is saying if they agreed to build a wall, then they got to build a wall. So Rashi v'tayim deratzu live nice kaisel. V'tayim deratzu v'kais midash neyen hu dechivum chachamim shid mein shneyen. Ula kaman parach. The Gemara later on, Rashi anticipates the Gemara is going to ask, Kisharotsu my havi. What do you mean they agreed to build a wall? They have to. Why can't you back out of a verbal commitment, right? My havi lihad ribahu avalay. But we're not going to do that right now. Avalay ratzu shneyam. But if the two of them did not want to build a wall, then you couldn't compel them both to build it. But it was only shayachad aimer daya lechalka. B'mesipis shell, you say this eitzim tukum ba'aretz nemuchim, right? Daya l'chalka. Listen, you want to make a clear division between us, so put like stakes in the ground, poles. Like if you're not going to force them to make a wall to actually block visual trespass. Another guy can't say no. I don't want you to see my stuff. I demand that you pay for half of a wall. Towards the Gemara shoots back, well, that would be a raya, that hezek re'iyah. It's not something that's called hezek. That would be a raya if mechitza means a wall. But just because you found a Mishnah, that doesn't show that that's what it means. Ve'ema, why can't I say my mechitza plugta? Mechitza just means a division, a separation, a breakup. Kedechsev, coming up in Parshas Matos, after the war with Midian, Vatehi mechetzaso edah, talking about dividing up the booty. That Rashi plugta chalukas chotzer shehushvu daitam lecholka. The two of them both were aligned in their decision to divide it. And Rashi's saying it's got to be that it's got to be that the chotzer is a lot smaller than the one pictured over here. Because if it's as big as I made it over here, then one of them could say, we're splitting up. It's not that we have to agree to split up. And that's why the Mishnah says they wanted to. Once they agreed to divide it up, now you got to build a wall. You can compel them, one of them can compel the other to build a stone wall. And the other guy says, I don't want this expense. I just want to go for stakes. We're not going to listen to him to do that because hezek re'iyah. And now the Gemara is saying, so maybe mechitza means a split up. And because they had wanted to split up, bam! Now you can build the wall even against his will or karchon. And in which case, al hezek re'iyah shmei hezek. That would mean that hezek re'iyah is a real thing, that they agreed to split up. Bam! Now they got to build it. Touch the Gemara shoots back. No, Mechitza is clearly a wall, and Hezek is not Shmei Hezek. Why? Because if it's true that Hezek, that it's like you're saying Mechitza means a breakup. Haisher Ratzu La'asais Mechitza. That's a long-winded thing that wanted to create a division. Shiratzu Lachtzais Mibayle. Should have just said they wanted to divide. Oh yes, says the Gemara back. Elamai Guda. So the pro Hezek Re'iyah side says, so what? What are you saying? That Mechitza means a wall, and only when they agreed it? Beinin esat kaisel. Why would the Mishnah have to speak out? They agreed to make a wall, they build a wall. Beinin oisai mibaile. You should have just said they build it. To which the Gemara responds, no. Really, and we're defending now the Hezek Lav Shmei Hezek position. We're saying that you can only build a wall if you agree to build a wall. Then why didn't we just say it? No. Itana oisai. Had we just said it, hava mina b'misipis ba'alma, you could have thought that the thing that he says, oh, I agreed to build a wall, I built some pathetic nothing, kamash malan kaisel. No, you agreed to make a wall, you agreed to make a wall, you build a wall. It's like Rashi, hava minim b'misibas ba'alma ma'ir masisin di'yunami mechitza ikru. V'rotzu diktani, achaluka kayuch she'en badin chaluka. So there Rashi speaking it out is that had the Mishnah said bainin Isai, so Rashi's, I remember this Rashi, yeah, it's been around, I don't know, 20 years, but I remember this Rashi. Meaning right now we're saying that within the view that Hezek Re'iyah, Shmei Hezek, no, Hezek Lav Shmei Hezek, and you can't force it. But if the Mishnah had said Isai, you would have sort of started drifting to the other side, and Ratzu would be going on the Chalukah, and Ratzu means the Chalukah, and then you would have to build a why? Wait. Kamash Malan Kaisel. The Ratzu did, meaning we might have thought that the Mishnah is talking about the whole side. We said before that the Ratzu is going on Chalukah, and the Bainin. No, it's not saying. It's not really going to the other side of Hezek Re'iyah. It's saying they were talking about a Chadash Imbadin Chalukah, and the Ratzu means that they want to divide things up. Okay. But you could just get away with building a Misipis Be'alma. Kamash Bulan Kaisel, Veratzu Diktani Mishum Kaisel, Dile Ratzu Pli Palgila Bimisipis. If it said, Ashudfin Shiratzu Lahases Mechitza B'chatzer, Bainin Isai. I would have thought it's Mesibis Ba'alma, and that's also okay. Ashutfin Sheratzu, they wanted to split La'asais Mechitza. I don't have this. See, without the way Rashi's saying this, without Rashi, and I think this is the way Tosfos is leaning, that it means Hashutfin Shiratsu says Mechitza B'Chatzer, that they agreed to build some sort of divider then once they agreed on that, they have to be bainin as hakaisel, as opposed to isai, which would be any kind of pathetic divider. I think that's where the Tosfos is going. So I mean, if it's Amakash and kaisel, and there's a knech in this Rashi that I'm not getting. I'll have to get back to this. Okay. This looks like it's a... this is the Rishash. Yeah. So the Rish... And Tosfos is going that way, that this is not a new shtickle. This is continuing the back and forth, attacking the assumption that Mechitza is a wall and Hezek is not Hezek. But it's not obvious. Like one of them convinced the other. He got him to he got him to agree to a wall. Maudatema Matziamalei ki Srat Soilach Bavira Betashmish Talei Srat Soilach Kamash Malon. Not Rashi Maudatema Malei Kishin Srat Sisilach V'Machitza. It's Machitza Dak on Srat Sisi Mutiba Avira. Kagoin Shal Nasarim Shidaka Vazakriya in Ba. Item Shakavi Ha Kaisi Bachalkecha. Chutz midavar muad. Avlim es kaisel avanim av mutinamit ashmishti leinis ratzaisi. So, meaning, what do you mean? Of course you have to build it in the middle. No, like one of them was the one who really pushed for the wall, and the other guy agreed. Maudatim, you could have thought to say, the guy who agreed could say, Kis ratzoilach, I said fine. You can build something there, but avira, that you would be having a small amount of wall in my side, but not a huge thick wall that would be really invading my side. Kamash Falan, no, you agreed to do a wall. Simen. Oh, actually, no. For Hezek Lav Shmei Hezek, the Gemara is now asking, what? You're saying Hezek or is taka not a problem, and only when you agree to build a wall, you build a wall? Simen Gina Kaisa Kevin V'Chalkin Chalin is Rav Nachman Toshma V'Chein Begina. Also in a garden. What's the kasha? Tosfos says that if minig is to make a fence, you make a fence. Gina shiny. No. A garden is particularly a place where you can demand someone else not look at it. Could there be Abba? Do'amar be Abba Amarav Una Amarav. Asur la Adam Lamed Bistecha Ve'eroi B'Shashi Amedes B'Kay Maiseha. It's forbidden to look at someone else's field when it is doing, when it's voxing and ready for harvest. Also, Adam Shamet Zakashi shows it can't be iron or V'Chein Katani fact the Gemara. You're saying V'Chein, which would imply that it's the same thing. No, Agvil V'Gazis. No, that's the V'Chein is not going on the rationale. It's it's going on what the actual wall is made out of. Toshma kaisa chatzer shenaf off the wall between the chatzeres fell. Mechayven esay livnais ad dalet amos. You can compel one guy on one side can compel the guy on the other side to rebuild it at least up to a height of 4 amos. Mechayven esay Rashi v'chalektani ratzu el akarchai. Because the Gemara says nafal shiny shekavar nisratzu shaynim b'kaisel, the originals that agreed on it. Shine, yeah, it's like frek the Gemara de ka'arila, my ka'arila, the one who thought that was a kasha. Why was he thinking that was shver? Fakert. So Rashi the ka'arila, my ka'arila, v'chileyada denafal shiny, and fakert, it's a right the other way. No, seifet strichalei. It's really coming from the end. Midalan ames ulamale mechayven oisai. So Rashi seifet strichalei kleimeru adinami meikara. Maybe you would have thought that you can always force a guy to build a wall. You might have thought, really, maybe it's saying that, not just nafal, you can always ask for a wall. The chiddush is that the wall caps out the maximum at 4 amos, even if it had been taller and fallen. But then you might be able to compel one without nafal. Toshma, I live nice by Shar v'Dalas l'chotzer. You can force him to build a gatekeeper area and a door. Everyone joins together for this. A base hashar shabayim kaisel neged hashar agul saviv. By the gateway, there's a rounded wall. Pesach katan min hatzad. Wait, I thought this was a place for a shomer, and Rashi is absolutely not saying that. Shabayim kaisel neged hashar agul saviv. There's gonna be. Here's what it means. There's gonna be a way to get into the chutzner. So by definition, there's going to be an open space. So that means people walking by can look in. So you can say, no, I demand that you build a privacy gate. So if a right, the people in the chutzner can compel each other to split the cost of building a privacy wall so the Rosh Hashanah can't see in. Shma Mina, so yeah, Shma Mina has agreed. Yoshmei Hezek. You see that they can say, "Hey, it's a problem we're being looked at. Do your part to fix it." Which the Gemara says, "Hezek derabim shiny." Basically, you're right. Hezekriya could be a problem if it's lots of people looking at, but not of one guy looking over there. So Rashi Hezek derabim shkal b'nei Rosh Hashanah mistaklin sham uv'diachid lai. Toshma. You can only divide a wall if it has enough 4 amos for each of them. Otherwise, you could divide it. My love, but Kaisel, that sounds like you're building you're dividing it with a wall. No, it's just it could be any sort of little division. Tashma hachalainais windows. Zat Rashi hachalainais echem yashutfin abein hakesel b'chatzak negach shachaver beim milmala. Im kesel gavayis min hachalainais ark lag b'ilmala mei and daramas gavarish v'azak leishalo yismich al kaisalei v'yishchaviyeh b'chalainais of shel chaveroi. So hachalainais, if you're building a wall opposite someone's windows, beim milmala, beim milamata, beim mikonegdan daramas. You can't have a wall that's within 4 amos, above, below, to the side of someone else's window, because then you can lean on it and peek. So you see and if it's opposite it's so you don't like darken his windows. And why do you have to go way above them? That you can't peek down. You can't be within 4 amos below them, so you don't stand on the wall. It's opposite, so it doesn't darken them. So you see that being able that you can say no, you cannot build a wall that will allow you to view in my house. So the Gemara is like, you're right, Hezekri is a problem in a house. We're conceding a lot of things just on Hezekri and a Chutzer. Hezekri the bias shiny. It's like the Rashi Hezekri the bias shiny. So the Meister Bebesei Divrei Etznei. Things are more private in a house. So that's something you can indeed say. Even if Hezekri and a Chutzer is not a problem. Toshma. We're done with the Tanaic material. It sounds like the Omer of Nachman Omer Shmuel Gagas Amachle Chutzer Chaveroi. If someone has a roof near someone else's Chutzer. He says make a fence for Amma. It's like Rashi make a Arba Amma. So that's sounds like it's already an Amira, but from there you see that the guy on the ground can demand that the guy up on the roof build a 4 Amma high wall so that he can't be seen in his Chutzer. Shiny Hasam, the Gemara is being Madcha. That's worse. Because being on the roof is much more sneaky. Actually, no, I shouldn't have said that. It's the Amar Lei Balachatz Balagag. The Chutzer guy can say, the guy who's being looked at can demand a wall from the guy on the roof because he says, Lididi, Kviali, Tashmishti, Lidach, Kvialach Tashmishtach, Layadana, Bahai Idna. There's a Selekis, Zalkis, Ve'osis, V'dana Ba'idna, T'ka'osis, Tamish Begagech. So if it's a Chutzer, it's more of an even playing field, and I know when you're there, when I'm there, so I can avoid being stared at. But if it's a roof, it's much more random. So you can say, you need to build a wall for that because there's no way that I can keep track and make sure you don't see me over here. Oh, wow. And, 2 more words. I can keep my private things away from music. Rashi, or I know we're going on to the next daf. Aha. If it's 2 chatzeres that are open to each other, then it's not, by memela, it's not going to be a thing of tznius that's being done there. But vibalt, the roof is barely used, so the guy with the chutzner would be doing divrei hetzna, and he can say, but you might suddenly appear there, so you have to build a wall. All right, and that was the first lashon of the Gemara. So v'ru my mechitza guda, which is assuming Hezekri is lashmei Hezek. Shkayach.